Welcome to Sideliners. We're here for a new season. My name is Chris Brito, and I'm here with my co-hosts,
Aiden Kelly.
And I'm Andrew Bonilla, and we're going to get started hot here with our World Series picks. The World Series, the League Championship Series starting up this week. And I'll start with the NL. I got the Padres in 6 over the Phillies. The series already 1-1 right now. Going back to Philly, what are you guys feeling about this so far?
I gotta disagree with you. I'm going Phillies win the whole thing right now. Going back to Philly, Philly is one of the most hostile environments to play in any sport. And these baseball fans in Philly are crazy.
Yeah, the Padres took down my favorite team, the Mets, and the Phillies have great pitching, and I just think they're gonna take this series, man.
Yeah.
Although the Padres, they did take out my Mets. I'm a Mets fan too. I feel you. But since August, the Padres have the lowest team ERA in the league. They've been getting hot, and it's all about guys getting hot at the right time, right? We saw Daniel Murphy in 2015 with the Mets hit home run after home run. Now it's Trent Grisham for the Padres going off out of nowhere. I'm trying to figure out what this dude's on. And let's not forget at the trade deadline, the Padres, they made all the moves, and everyone crowned them in August.
Blockbuster.
Yeah, Juan Soto, Josh Bell. This team on paper is better than any other roster in the league.
Definitely. But ever since Philly's got Bryce Harper back from that injury, you saw him when he was in the minor leagues torching every pitcher that was pitching right to him, home run after home run. Comes into the playoffs, already has 3 home runs in 6 games. He has a batting average of .500 in just the last series.
Very
it's crazy
true.
versus the Braves.
It's going to be interesting to see how they handle him. And I think, it's going to be whose pitching stays on top the longest. And I feel like the Padres have the deeper bullpen right now. And now in the AL, Astros versus Yankees. Once again, what are the vibes?
I'm a Yankees fan myself. Very rough first game last night. I got to say I don't have confidence. I think Astros are going to win. That's just the reality of the situation. I really have nothing else to say.
Humble Yankees fan, I like it.
Yeah, I think the Yankees are too home run dependent, and I think the Astros are going to take this. History repeats itself. Maybe no cheating scandal this time, but
hopefully not.
The Astros don't need it because they own the Yankees. Yankee fans are going to cry about it for another year. The Astros are better.
I've been crying about it.
They live rent free in Yankee fans' head. It's still crazy.
They do, because we just get defeated every single time.
I know, man. I mean, Aaron Judge he needs to step it up. Everyone needs to hit those home runs, and they need to fight off the Astros bullpen. I mean,
Aaron Judge has turned into Aaron Fudge.
All right. After that, we're going to transition over to our NFL Super Bowl picks. Who do you have?
I mean, we're in upstate New York right now. I'm a Giants fan, but I'm rolling with Bills Mafia. Shout out Rich. Bills Mafia. My boy Rich knows what's up.
I got to completely agree with that. Buffalo Bills are crazy. Yep. Josh Allen has been the craziest player I've seen in a while. I mean, in these first, 6 games? Yeah, 7 games?
6 games.
Yeah, okay. So he's 1,980 passing yards, 17 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions in these games, leading everyone in the whole league.
MVP race right now.
He's crazy.
He's leading it by a mile.
He leads his whole team in rushing yards, 257. And
That's
he's a
crazy.
quarterback, obviously.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Ridiculous.
That option offense. And I didn't make a Super Bowl pick definite yet. It's too early for me, but I really hope it's not the Bills because I'm a Titans fan, and I hope they fall off. What are you guys feeling for the NFC?
Ooh, I mean, NFC is probably the least competitive I've ever seen it. Simply, only real competition's got to be the Eagles. As a Giants fan, I hate to say it, but Eagles are just Jalen Hurts has been also MVP level, but Josh Allen's simply better, and that's why I think that they're going to win it all.
I agree. The Rams, the Packers, the Bucks. They haven't been playing as well as I've seen them. And as a salty Giants fan, I don't want to say the Eagles, but A.J. Brown, he's a dog. I know you like A.J. Brown.
I hated to see A.J. go. I mean, I'm glad he's playing well, and I hope he stays healthy, but at the same time, I just can't stand to see him succeed in the Eagles uniform. It's actually crazy.
All right. So after that, we're going to head right over and talk about our college picks for the national championship.
Well, I have a sister that goes to Bama, and I was there a couple weeks ago. So a tough loss last week, I know, but
very tough loss. Same with that goalpost. that was even more tough.
Last seconds, 52-49. I mean, what a game! But
that's a crazy game.
Roll Tide, horns down. I'm going with Bama. Bama's winning the chip. Bryce Young is him.
What about you?
I wish I had the mascot head to show it off, but I'm rolling with the Georgia Bulldogs once again, back to back. There may be no pun intended, there may be a changing in the tide in the SEC. Georgia might take it over now. They're showing they got those dogs. Roll dogs.
I got to say, Ohio State, they are balling out. C.J. Stroud, Heisman leader right now, 1,737 passing yards and 24 touchdowns in 6 games. I just feel like that's absurd numbers for someone like him. And they're playing without their top receiver, Jackson Smith-Njigba. He is already their best player. And without him, they got Marvin Harrison Jr., 536 receiving yards and 9 touchdowns this whole season.
As good as they may be in the Big Ten, we all know the Big Ten can't compete with the top dogs in the SEC. They got to go, and however the playoff plays out, it's looking like Tennessee's going to be in there.
Tennessee.
It's probably going to be 3 SEC schools because Alabama gets in no matter what. You
Always.
don't know that. And it's Ohio State. Are they even going to be the one? Maybe they try to slide someone else in there. I just don't think they can compete with those high-powered SEC
Their
schools.
defense has been really good this year. 5th ranked in the nation.
Against Penn State?
I mean,
Come on.
it's still against NFL talent players. They're getting scouted for a reason for the NFL.
That is true, but there's levels to this thing.
Obviously, yeah. They got freshmen, sophomores, all that. But
You can't
main
forget
players
about
on Ohio State are ridiculous. You got to admit.
Yeah. Can't forget about Michigan, still undefeated there. I don't know how many quality teams they've played yet, but Michigan is still, I believe, 7-0 or 6-0.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's going to come down to the Big Ten championship probably. Ohio State versus Michigan. That's probably going to be
Definitely.
determining that 4th team in the playoff. Unless
you know-
Alabama drops another one. You know, do they have to win the SEC title to make it into the playoff?
I think so. And I think Ohio State would decimate Michigan in that game. Ohio State owns Michigan.
I agree.
Completely.
Yeah.
Every year. Always own them.
Agreed.
All right. Now we're going to transfer over to a new segment of our show, and it's going to be about the fantasy start and sits. Who do you got this week?
I am rolling with Josh Jacobs as a must start. He's coming off a bye week. He's playing the Texans. He ran over the Chiefs in that game. You know, Chiefs always find a way to squeak it out, but he dropped, I believe, 35 fantasy points.
I played him.
Yeah, well, I love him, man. He's in a prove-it year. They didn't take his, I believe, his 5th-year option, so he's proving it right now. I think he's coming off that bye week. Texans, he's going to run him over.
Yep. That's a good one. And for me, tonight we got, obviously, Thursday Night Football. I got Rondell Moore. With DeAndre Hopkins coming back, it's obviously kind of iffy, but Hollywood Brown's going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks. They did just trade for Robbie Anderson, but realistically, he's a non-factor in that offense at this point.
Definitely tonight. Doesn't even know the offense yet.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to play. No. Rondell Moore is just obviously Kyler Murray's safety route. I just think that he's probably your best start in most deeper leagues at this point.
So I went with 2 guys this week. I went with a running back and a receiver that I like. Must-start running back is Ramondre Stevenson, New England Patriots running back. He's the top guy now. Damian Harris is pretty much out of the picture. He's put up 17-plus points in back-to-back weeks against a Bears defense that's bottom 5 and team rushing defense. It should be a clear-cut week. Start him. Mac Jones is back. They'll be throwing it around a little bit more, force it downfield. Eventually, it's going to open up the big run. And the wide receiver I like is Allen Lazard. Although the Packers haven't been playing too well, you got to keep Allen Lazard in there. They're in a prove-it week against Washington.
Definitely.
They've dropped back-to-back games against New York teams. It's time for them to pick it up. I think they're going to force it a little bit, and I think Allen Lazard steps up with another big week.
I agree. I
pick.
think Rodgers is bounce-back week for sure.
Yep.
I mean, that was a rough look against the Jets. The Jets played great. Giants played well, but they don't usually beat Rodgers like that, and especially the Jets game, man. Shut them out. I mean, I think they didn't score any points in the second half in the Giants game. Not anything.
Jets defense is underrated right now.
They played
I think
lights
they're
out.
top 5, especially with Sauce in there.
Sauce is playing out of his mind
Definitely
as a
rookie
rookie
of the year
cornerback.
candidate.
Yep.
You don't see rookie cornerbacks come in the league too often and make such an impact in their first year.
Definitely not. So who do you guys got for sit of the week?
Anyone playing the New York Giants, anyone the Jaguars, man. No, Trevor Lawrence, I don't know how he's going to play. He's a young QB. He was so hyped up out of college, but I think he hasn't burst on the scene yet. I think it's going to be a rough week for him. Also, I believe that Mari Cooper, even with that coming back, just hasn't been around. I think CeeDee Lamb will be a primary target. Gallup, Tony Pollard gets a lot of receptions. Zeke. I think Amari Cooper is just like, I don't know.
All right,
Knows all the Browns.
I got Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel, let me tell you, I had him in my league. Great first 2 weeks.
Oof.
And then we got, 2.6 last week. Carson Wentz going to be out for 6 weeks. Tyler Heineke is going to target Terry McLaurin every single throw. I got to be honest. He does it every year. every single year. Terry McLaurin is Taylor Heineke's #1 target. Curtis Samuel is going to be non-existent in this offense, especially with Brian Robinson coming back. They're going to be able to run the ball all game.
I agree, and once again, I went with 2 guys you must sit this week, and this one should be pretty obvious. Fringe wide receiver 2 guy, Cortland Sutton, Denver Broncos. Russ, maybe significant hamstring injury. He'll be hampered a little bit, and it's been bad already. This is just going to make it worse. Yep. And so Broncos offense also going against the Jets this week. Sauce Gardner is #1 in man-to-man coverage. Expect to see that a lot against Cortland Sutton this week. And running back, I say you must sit, is Najee Harris. Mitch Trubisky back leading the Pittsburgh offense into Miami on Sunday night. And I just see Miami with Tua back this week. I think they'll be able to get rolling a little bit. They've lost a few in a row, but I have trust in the Dolphins. They've got a good defensive front. I think they'll get back on track, control the ball, and this is going to limit what they do on offense, running the football. For the Steelers, that is. And Najee's touchdown dependent. He had 10 points last week based off of 1 receiving touchdown. I don't think he gets it this week, and I think the Steelers get shut down once again.
I completely agree with you. Najee Harris has been gone. He was so good last year. I don't know what happened. I mean, their offensive line has really just come so far down in production and just value. It's crazy to see what one season could do to a team, but Najee is just gone.
And I think teams just don't feel threatened downfield, so they're going to just get up and press their receivers and they're say, hey, come and beat us.
Especially, yeah. Mitch Trubisky playing too. I mean, they have that quarterback trouble. Kenny Pickett's out.
Yep.
Mitch is just not the most reliable quarterback.
Nope. He can't pass downfield.
No, he can't.
Not at all.
I think, I think the Steelers are going to be in trouble.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching Sideliners. We'll see you next week on the next episode.